Introduction to Computer Hardware and Software, Week 1. So, definition of computer. A computer system can be defined as an electronic device. It can accept data through the input, and under the guidance of the processor, it can give the programs instructions so that we can get an output. A computer is also an electronic device that is embedded with a motherboard, which comprises all other components, and all those components has their function and execution of programs, which are all stored on the motherboard so that it will be able to provide an output result. So from the definition of a computer system, is being made of three basic parts of the computer, as we said earlier, that they are capable of accepting data through the input and process the data, which will be the central processing unit, in order for us to have the output. Then from the definition, a computer system is being made of three basic parts as follows. We have the input devices, the central processing unit, and the output devices. So our third slide is known as computer hardware. Hardware is the physical part of computer that we can see and touch, as we can see on the screen. Let me use the diagram on the screen as a scenario. So we have the RAM, we have the monitor, keyboard, mouse, and CPU. Then we now have the scanner. Then we now have flash. So the function of RAM, which is known as memory, it is a type of memory that is temporary. It stores data and information on the system temporarily. They are part of primary storage devices. Then we now have the speaker. The speaker provides sound for us in order for us to listen. Then we now have the scanner. A scanner allows us to convert our hard copy documents into a soft copy. Then we now have the monitor. The monitor provides a visualization of images, videos for individual. Then we now have the keyboard. It allows us to input vital data and information into the computer systems. Then we now have the central processing unit. All programs are executed on the central processing unit of the computer. Without the central processing unit, the computer will not be able to execute instructions and programs, and so on. Examples of input devices: we have keyboard, mouse, scanner, microphone, and light pen. They are all input devices. So the keyboard allows us to input data and characters into the computer system, and there are 101 buttons on the keyboard that we will be able to input informations or data to our system. Then we now have mouse. A mouse, which is a pointing device, it allows us to navigate from one icon to another. Then we have a scanner. A scanner allows us to convert our documents into a digital format, like it will allow us to convert hard copy into soft copy. Then we have microphone. A microphone is a device. It captures audio or voice input from recording or voice control. So most times we use those microphones for large audience so that they can hear or listen about what we are talking. So let's look at the light pen. It is a pen-shaped device that allows users to interact with a computer screen display. Individual will be able to write on the screen of a computer system with the help of a light pen. So we are now on the fifth slide. which is known as the Central Processing Unit, which is called the CPU, is an electronic circuit responsible of giving execution of instructions to the computer programs. The Central Processing Unit CPU is the brain of a computer, containing all the circuitry needed to process, input, store data, and output the results. The CPU is constantly following instructions of computer program that tell it which data to process and how to process it. So this Central Processing Unit is known as an electronic circuit. Once you heard of electronic circuit, is referring to a circuit that is embedded or stored with multiple components, and each and every component has their own function and roles to play on the Central Processing Unit bed. The electronic circuit comprises of multiple components, and each of those components has their tasks. So it is responsible of giving execution of instruction. So the electronic circuit is the one giving instructions to the computer programs, because it has already contained multiple components, and each and every component has their own functions. So electronic circuit is the one that gives instruction to the computer programs. So the Central Processing Unit is the brain of the computer, because it's containing all the circuitry needed to process input, to store data, and output results. So they are all embedded on the electronic circuit of the computer. Then the Central Processing Unit CPU contains several components. So those are the components that contain the Central Processing Unit. We have the memory unit, we have control unit, we have the registers, we have the buses, then we now have the arithmetic and logic unit, which is ALU.